Greetings. This is Calvin Ward, and I want to thank you for tuning into the Strategically Prophetic Radio broadcast. This is a podcast that I do. You can take this and put it in your RSS feed. It will pull into iTunes. So every time I do a message, you will get it pulled into your iTunes. Just copy the RSS feed, plug it in, and it will pull this into your iTunes so you can listen to this on your phone and you can get a fresh word everywhere that you go. Or you can listen to some of this teaching. So I started this. The Lord led me to start this some years back, and I started on Blog Talk Radio. So you can still go to Blog Talk and see and hear some of the sessions that we did when we had live callers, interviewed all sorts of people, and we just went forth in ministry, prayed, prophesied for people live. So we did that for a couple of years. Paused. Being in the military and trying to go full speed in ministry is something else, but God allowed us to do it, so we did it. So moving ahead, now I'm on Spreaker. So what I do on Spreaker is this podcast, and you can check it out, and you can get a copy of the podcast. You can actually download the PDFs, the MP3s, and you can listen to it anywhere. You can send it to people, send them the link. But I want you guys, I need your support. I would love for you to go to the website. We have the website that's coming up. It's getting revamped. And I would love for you to go to Blog Talk to hear some of those messages. But listen, the goal is not to be big eyes and little U's, but the goal is to really be able to preach the gospel. The goal is to really be able to preach the gospel and really be able to get it out there and help people. In this season, we need some revelation and wisdom. And we need more revelation. The revelation you get, it will change your understanding. And changing the seat of your understanding will help you to change the actions that you do and change the way that you think, which means that you will respond to life differently. And if you respond differently, you'll get different results. So we want you to respond after the God kind of response so that you can get a God kind of result, if that makes sense. And so that being the case, I want to just talk a little bit to you today on continuing on the subject and continuing on, just a little bit on why you need to know who Satan is. And some people say, I don't need to know who he is. Well, we blame so many things on him. You do need to know who he is. Every time something goes wrong, you want to blame Satan. You want to blame this. You want to blame that. How about you blame yourself? And, someone said he's sitting somewhere on a couch or on a stoop. Say, I don't know why they're talking to me. I don't know why they're blaming me for this. I don't know why, But at the end of the day, you need to know that there is a hierarchy that he has. But I'm saying that because you need to know that God has a hierarchy. A king has a court, and in the court are high-ranking individuals. They are not higher than the king, but they get their authority by the king. They're not hired by the king, but they get their authority by the king. And so the king gives them their authority, and that's their council. COUNCIL. That'll preach all day long, right? So you need to understand that there are heavenly hosts. There are other entities that God has created to help him implement creation and do things in the earth realm. That being said, you need to know you got angels that are on your side. I tell people the scripture talks about in Isaiah 37, where the angel of the Lord went out and put to death 185,000. One angel can kill 185,000. Christ said, listen, I can have 12 legions come down here and help me out at any time. And using a conservative number, that puts you at 60,000 angels, using 5,000 as the number for a legion. And if each one of those angels can kill 185,000, then guess what? You have some power that is on your side. You need to understand the reality we're in. I go back to Genesis in this video, and so I want you to tune into that. I'm doing this podcast, but if you want the in-depth study, go to YouTube and look up the video that I have on my YouTube channel. I would love for you to subscribe and love that support, but look it up there because I go in depth on who Satan is, what was the possibilities, what could have happened, right? What could have happened and why that's important so you can know the whole schema that sets the biblical story of the fall of man, the fall of Satan, and this whole battle of good and evil that we are down here in. Also culminating with the Messiah and ending in the restoration of all things and the judgments and the advent of Christ. So I want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Again, we're talking about here who really is Satan and why do you need to know that. I want you to go to my YouTube channel and I want you to check out that video and I want to know what you think. So I want you to check out the video. You can't post comments on the YouTube video, but you can come back to my page on Facebook and you can give me a comment on what you thought about it. I'll put a link there. I want you to be blessed and enjoy. Thanks for tuning in.